Jeff McNeil isn't here to entertain you. He is here to beat you. Love the move. Let's get into it today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. My name is Booney, one name, all passion, no sugarcoating. I'm a lifelong A's fan who has spent the past season covering this team every single day with post-game breakdowns, prospect deep dives, roster decisions, and all the chaos in between. And in the off-season, yes, we are still covering the A's every single day. Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team, your A's every single day. And today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. What is up, everybody? Baseball loves the loud move, the headline sighting, the viral clip, the kind of transaction that wins the internet for a day and does nothing for the standings in August. The A's didn't really do that here. They did something smarter. They went out and got a hitter who ruins pitchers' plans, drags at bats into deep water, and forces the other team to actually work for 27 outs. Jeff McNeil is a throwback. He isn't a highlight factory. He is a problem, and problems win baseball games. This move is about credibility and control, about adding a professional at-bat to a lineup that's been learning on the fly. McNeil brings contact in a league obsessed with power, flexibility in a season that demands it, and the kind of edge that doesn't show up in press releases, but absolutely shows up on the scoreboard. Today's episode is, yes, about Jeff McNeil. The A's finally made a move. How he built this career the hard way and why the A's didn't just make a trade. They made life uncomfortable for the rest of the league. I love the contract. The contract makes sense too, guys. I don't have the deep dive as far as who we exactly gave up. I know we gave up some cash. I know we gave up a minor league player. I don't know who that minor league player is. The news literally broke about 15 minutes ago as far as when I saw it. What I do know is this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm working with you guys. I am getting the information as you guys are. 2026, I believe he was due a little over $17 million. The Mets are picking up about $7.75 million of that contract. The A's are picking up $10 million of it. He has a team option for 2027. $15,750,000 in 2027. He has a team option. Same as Severino in 2020. Severino has a player option in 27. So if he goes nuts, the A's have the option to pick up that team option. The contract makes absolute sense, guys, and it does not sound like we gave up hardly anything. McNeil's a veteran. He's been around, 34 years old. He is the type of individual and the type of professional the A's want. Now, as of late, he hasn't been the best. He's been also hindered with injuries, and he hasn't been in the lineup every single day. His big year came in 2022. All-Star, received MVP votes, actually finished 15th in MVP voting. Hit 326, 9 homers, 62 RBIs. In 2023, 270. And he's kind of deteriorated since then. 33 years old. He'll be 34 in the spring. I absolutely love the move. Love the move. I love the contract. I love the flexibility. This move makes sense. Defensively, sure. He's not ideally what we want defensively, but he is good. Who did we give up? What's up, Nick? It sounds like we gave up a minor league player. I don't think that minor league player's name has been released. I don't think it would be a high prospect or we would have heard about it. I'm interested to see who it is and cash. We basically gave up that. We basically did not give up anything. It sounds like it was a salary dump for the Mets. You called this trade. You did call this trade, Flea. You absolutely did. I remember yesterday on the show. I'll replay it as well when I have a chance to get that. We gave up Yordan Rodriguez, 17-year-old relief pitcher from Cuba. Wow. Thank you. I did not know that. I believe he was in the developmental league last year. He did not even get to single A. That is awesome. That's it. Absolutely. That is it. Love this move. What up, senior? Hey, excited. Merry Christmas, everybody. I couldn't be more thrilled about this move. Just get a number 3 starter and let's roll. I like Jacob Lopez right now in that 3 spot. Boney is for the children. Finally, a Paul's Jeremiah Jeff was a Marlins killer. Good addition. Yeah, he is a good addition. Who do we give up? We basically gave up a 17-year-old who played in the developmental league. Jesus. Better move than Jake Cronenworth? Why is Jake Cronenworth off the table? Why is Jake Cronenworth off the table? That's what's so beautiful about this trade. It allows us to still do more. Extend the core, maybe. Maybe trade for Cronenworth. You got to remember, we're only paying McNeil $10 million next year. Team option in 2027. We didn't give up anything. Why is Cronenworth off the table? We gave up Yordan Rodriguez, old relief pitcher from Cuba. Jason, I like McNeil. He's good defensively and offensively. Most importantly, only strikes 12% of the time. It's something this lineup needs. Zach is screwed. Not necessarily. We received 5.75. Yes, we received 5. I think the Mets are picking up a little bit more. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 7.75. I could be wrong on that. That's what I saw. I understand his salary is 17.75. The Mets are picking up 7.75 of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Flea, never would have guessed I predicted a trade. You sure did, Flea. Yesterday I asked Booney if McNeil would be an option, then bam. You sure did, man. You were on that. Where would you put him in the lineup for me? I think it's going to be a situation, my A's, where if it's against right-handed hitters, that's the great thing about McNeil. You could literally bat him anywhere. You could bat him second. You could bat him third. You could bat him fifth. You could bat him sixth. You could bat him seventh. You can play against righties, lefties, flexible. McNeil's good. McNeil is a professional. He's a veteran. He's been there. I couldn't be more happier about this move. I don't know what I'm more happier about, the move or the A's made a move. But they didn't give up much, right? They didn't sell out. They waited this out. Hey, I tip my cap to the A's front office. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. McNeil, leadoff hitter, pushing back. Butler, 6'8", like it. Possibly. Like I said, I think Kotsay is going to be flexible when it comes to the lineup. He could go all over the place. The minor leaguer the A's gave up was Yordan Rodriguez. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. That's the key thing right here, Jason. Lengthens the lineup, right? Lengthens the lineup. Now, A's can go 7 deep, with the only question being Muncy at third and Clark at center field offensively. Right. Clark, we're hoping gets better every single day offensively. We need his glove defensively. I don't think you can take him out of the order. He's going to be put in the 8-9 spot. Muncy, hey, you know what? If Muncy plays third base and he's our 8 hitter, take it. But key point, Jason, it lengthens our lineup. Lengthens our lineup and adds a left-hander to the lineup as well. Senior, I love putting McNeil in the front or bottom of the lineup. I think it's going to be the type of situation against lefties, more towards the end, maybe in the 7 slot. Against righties, who knows, 2, 3, 5, 6, wherever it may be. Senior, don't want to jinx it, but Luis Morales will get the Cy Young votes this year. Hope you're right, bud. McNeil is a low strikeout guy. Him and Wilson at the top. I love it. I love it too, man. Hey, McNeil is a throwback. McNeil is a throwback type player. Old school. Doesn't strike out. competes, doesn't really care what you think of him. He's going to give you what he has. Good clubhouse guy. Fatal, what's up, bud? What a trade. I just hope we can pick up a solid starter before the season starts. I hope they're still talking to Tyler Mahle. I know I've said that about 1,000,000 times. I still hope he's on the table. But at the same time, guys, hey, you know what? I'm not too shy to go with 4 starters right now with who we have. All right? I like Severino, Springs, Jacob Lopez, Luis Morales. Guys, in an episode I have dropping on Christmas Day, don't forget about Gunnar Hoglund. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoglund. Gunnar Hoglund, we easily forget, May 2nd, 2025, he shoved 6 innings of shutout 1-run ball against the Marlins. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoglund. He was a serious problem for a lot of teams until he got hurt. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoglund. I'm going to tell you that because we were shooting Gunnar Hoglund's praise after that Marlins game. Then all of a sudden, he goes on the IL, out for the year. We forget about him. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoglund. Setting the table for this young, ridiculously good lineup. Oh, God, the lineup gets deeper. And it's a perfect type of hitter we need. He's not somebody that's just swinging for the fences. He's disciplined. He gets it. He's the guy, man. I couldn't be more happier about this move. I couldn't be more happier about the contract and the flexibility around the contract. $10 million, 1 year. Take it. Team option, 2027. Home run. The pitching staff isn't as bad as you think. I agree with you, Senior. Gunnar, for sure. Gunnar is a righty. Gunnar had 6 starts last year. He absolutely dealt in his first start, but then hurt his hip, had season-ending hip injury. It seemed to bother him most of the year as well, and that was the issue with Hoglund. So, let's not forget about Gunnar Hoglund and what he is and what he is about. I want to talk a little bit about Jeff McNeil's career, what's he done, what we can expect, and what he will bring to the A's up next. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You are not just watching the game, you are reaching into it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. You already live your team every day. Now take it up a level and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked On A's with no interruptions, members-only Discord access, and more, all for just $5 a month or $50 a year. Go to lockedona's.supercast.com or check the link in the show notes to learn more. Back at you, talking big Jeff McNeil trade. A's finally made a move. I absolutely love it. Contract is affordable. A's owe him $10 million next year. 2027 is a team option for 2027 for $15,750,000. Doesn't sound like we gave up much. What I understand from you guys is we gave up an individual in the developmental league, Yordan Rodriguez. I didn't see him in single A last year. I didn't see him in high A or low A. It sounds like it was just a straight salary dump for the Mets because they're still picking up a good good chunk of the contract. So, the next question is, hey, does this do it for the A's? No, it's only $10 million. It's only $10 million. My calculations right now, the A's still have to spend in order to get to that minimum salary. They still need to spend an additional $20 million. They spent $3 million on Leiter, $10 million on McNeil. They owe Severino a signing bonus from last year from $5 million. So we're about, again, depending on how over he wants to go on payroll, we're looking at anywhere from 15 to 20 million the A's have to spend next year. So there's still room to do a number of things. Again, my priority's been the same old thing, guys. The core. Jesse, get Severino the hell out of here. I don't think the A's are I don't think there's a team willing to pick up that contract, Jesse. 22 million due next year in 2026 and a player option in 2027 for another 22 million. No one's going to pick up that option. No one's going to pick that option. Severino's going to have to pitch, and I think he has it in him. He had a decent second half last year. I think once the All-Star break did happen, he accepted, hey, I'm in SAC. I'm going to make the most of it and do my best here. And he was good. He was much better in the second half. So was Jeffrey Springs. Should be interesting to see if the A's are still in talks with Cronenworth. This salary opens up a lot of things. And the flexibility of his contract does as well. We can still extend the core. That's still my priority. Kurtz, Langoliers, Wilson, Soderstrom is still my priority. Still the A's priority as a fan priority. So there is a number of things they can do. But when you're talking about Jeff McNeil, man, when you're talking about Jeff McNeil, you're talking about a veteran. He's played the postseason games, guys. He's been in the tussles. He's been in October battles. He wasn't a top draft pick. He was groomed as a future star. He was drafted late, actually, developed slowly, had to prove himself at every stop. He came up as a hitter first. He chokes up on that bat. He makes contact. He doesn't strike out. Defense is better than you think. It's not awful. Not huge on speed, but gets on base. It's kind of important. Think of him like a chess player in a room full of checkers. He's not trying to end the game in one move. He's trying to corner you by the sixth pitch. He'll fight you on every at-bat, 10 pitch at-bat, after 10 pitch at-bat. He's that type of guy. At his best, McNeil sprays the ball to all fields. He punishes mistakes and forces pitchers to throw more pitches than they want. In a time in the game where pitch count is everything, McNeil is key to the lineup. He wasn't playing every day in New York. Played about 120 games last year. He's the guy who turns a clean inning into 22 pitches. He's that good, guys. I'm astounded that not only did they pull the trigger on McNeil, I didn't think we could get him. But for what we got him for, because again, his salary, $17, almost $18 million next year. We're only paying 10 of it. And we didn't give up anything for him. I love the move. I absolutely love the move. Jeremiah, Locked On Marlins here. Let's iron out a deal for Alcantara. Platoon McNeil at second with the righty. I think you go McNeil every day. I don't think you platoon him. No, he's good enough hitter. Lefties, righties. It's not going to affect him. You got to play McNeil every day. Unless he needs a day off here and there. But no, I don't think he's a platoon guy. No. Couldn't be more happier about this move. Big time move. Good for the A. A nice patient move. The A's waited. They waited. So, he can play outfield as well. Defensively, he's like a Swiss Army knife. Second base, outfield corners, plug and play. No drama, no excuses. He shows up and plays where you tell him. That versatility matters for a team like the A's. Has flexibility. Everything with regard to this McNeil move is flexibility. Contract-wise, flexibility. The way he plays, the way he hits, defensively, flexibility. And that is the luxury here. Unbelievable. Where did Geloff go? He's still there. He's going to get his invite to spring training. I'm not giving up on Geloff either. But it was a move the A's had to make. It was a move the A's had to make. What's up, Senior? Did you see if they have built a couple of rooms next to the dugout at Sutter? I did see that. I saw the news around that. Yes. McNeil reminds me of Adam Kennedy and Jed Lowell. He seems like an A already, the type of player he is. Good call. Good call. I still think McNeil has a lot of 2022 left in that bat. It's at Sutter Health Park. Could you have Wilson and McNeil both hitting, let's say, 1-2 in the order, both hitting over 300? Why not? Why not? This move makes sense for all the right reasons, guys. All the right reasons. You know, God, it's been a quiet off season, man. It's been a quiet Christmas. I couldn't be more excited about that. The only time the A's have gotten in the news lately, guys, is like, all right, someone put the A's on their no trade clause where we can't get them, or, you know, Ha-Seong Kim, you know, declining a 4-year, $48 million. Should we owe another thanks to Ha-Seong Kim? Who would you guys rather have? Who would you rather have? Ha-Seong Kim or Jeff McNeil? For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking McNeil. Hey, is that Eric? How are you, buddy? Solid guy. Giants are cold as ice. Well, they just got Adrian Hauser, didn't they? It was a good signing. And they got another reliever, too. I don't recall who. The Mets were toxic the last couple of years. McNeil will find sack refreshing. Yes. BBQ Slayer, I don't want HSK. What are you saying? Big time signing. You know, big time signing. It's now, if you were to do an opening day lineup, right now, if I was to do an opening day lineup, who are you leading off? I gotta go McNeil on the leadoff spot. I go McNeil leading off, playing second. I go Jacob Wilson batting second. McNeil batting first. Wilson batting second, playing short. Batting third. God, there's a lot of depth to this lineup, right? You got to go Soderstrom batting third, playing left. You go Kurtz batting fourth, playing first. Who do you go? I mean, Rooker or Langoliers batting 5-6. Take your pick. Go ahead. Whatever you want. And then 7, 8, 9, you got Butler batting 7th, Muncy batting 8th, and Denzel batting 9th? Wow. Is that what we got here, guys? That lineup is legit 7 deep. Good call, Jason. Legit 7 deep. Gary, McNeil can help out in the outfield too. Yeah, each of the corner positions, no question. The key thing with this trade, Gary, is the flexibility. Everything with regard to this trade is flexibility. Team control, 1 year, team option next year. Salary, Mets are picking up a good portion of it. A's are only paying $10 million. We could still do a lot of things in the offseason. Defensively, he can play multiple positions. Second base, left field, right field. Couldn't be more happier about it. Couldn't be more happier about it. Jason, trade for Edward Cabrera. It's going to be expensive. Controllable starting pitching is expensive right now. Yeah, that will be expensive. And what that means is prospects, big-time prospects. I've talked about it before. I'm okay with anybody outside the top 7 with regard to prospects. I stop at Braden Nett. The next guy I'm going to go with as far as prospects, and let's pull up our prospect list here. You got DeVries number 1 in prospects, Jamie Arnold, Gage Jump, Braden Nett, Bolte, Devin Taylor is at 6, Tommy White. I start at 7. If the A's are going to give up prospects, for me, it starts at 7. For me, it starts at White, Baez, Barnett, JKG, Susak's gone. Turley, I want to see what Turley is. I don't want to give up Echeverria. Hoagland, I still think Hoagland has a shot, Jason. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoagland, guys. Hey, don't forget about Gunnar Hoagland. Hey, we were talking about Gunnar Hoagland after that Florida start like a future ace. He gets hurt. He gets banged up, has hip surgery. No one wants to talk about Hoagland anymore. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoagland. I'm going to say that right now. He is my sleeper for 2026. Gunnar Hoagland. You didn't want Kim. Yes, me too. Lineup is stacked. His low K rate. It does, senior. It does. You're on it, man. It's a perfect mix for this lineup. For a lineup that strikes out quite a bit. Butler's on the high side on strikeouts. Denzel is on the high side of strikeouts. He's just getting better. You got Langoliers, Rooker. Kurtz needs to get better on the Ks. Soderstrom's been good. But it's a perfect mix, man. He's the right guy. He's the right signing. I talked earlier about making trades and signing for free agents. And I said, hey, it's not just signing and trading for new guys. It's accuracy. Get the right guy. And Jeff McNeil checks all the boxes. I didn't think we can get him. Also, McNeil's walk were up in 2025. What's up, Jeff McNeil is cooked. Hey, you know what? He may be. I don't think he is, but to your point, let's say he is. It's a 1-year deal for $10 million. Who cares? There's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal. There just isn't. If he is cooked like you say he is, I don't think he is. I think he has a lot more ball left. But let's take your argument and say he's awful. Who cares? No such thing as a bad 1-year deal. Remember, team option 2027. No such thing as a bad 1-year deal. They thought Frank Thomas was cooked too. Bingo. Bingo, Flea. He's 32 years old, guys. It's not like he's, he'll be 34 next year. He's 33 right now. He's a 2-time All-Star in 2019. His best home run season was in 2019. 23 bombs, 75 RBIs, hit 318. That's pretty legit. In 2022, 9 homers, 62 RBIs, 326. All-Star, finished 15th in MVP, earned a Silver Slugger. I know you guys are big on WAR. Wins above replacement, 5.9 in 2022. Last year, 2.0. I love everything about this signing, guys. I'm real excited. I'm real excited. Right, true. No such bad thing as a 1-year deal. Faced off, for sure. Gary, the team option is the MVP in this deal with DeVries developing 1,000%. Also, look at it this way too, Gary. Let's say McNeil's that guy, and let's say DeVries develops the way a lot of us think he will. And let's say McNeil hits 305, 310, 290, and we want to exercise the team option. We put DeVries at third, you got Wilson at short, you got McNeil at second, you got Kurtz at first. Did you guys watch the 2030 show? I said in 2030, we're going for a 4 straight World Series. This lines up. But anyway, that's a legitimate lineup. Think about that, guys. Think about if McNeil finds that old Frank Thomas in him. He could do that at Sutter Health. He still has a lot of good ball left in him. Let's say he does. DeVries develops, let's say the way Kurtz did last year. This lineup now is 8 deep. 8 deep with your 9th place hitter being the best defensive player in all of baseball. He averages a 4 WAR per 162. Thank you, Flea. I know you're on that. You called this whole thing, Flea. This is your deal. You called it. I like McNeil as a nice comeback candidate for sure. If he's a 700 OPS guy, I'm fine with that. Yeah, you're right, Jesse. Hey, listen, I understand he's going to be 34 years old, guys. I think it's a good move. The upside for the contract and the term of the contract makes sense. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at upside versus what the A's are paying him and how long they are committed to the player. And when you put those 3 combinations there, it's a home run. Think about it. How much the A's are paying him. Commitment and upside. Could he be the same 220 guy? Sure, he could. All right. We already have a lot of those guys right now. So it's okay. Did I say DeVries this year? We'll see. We'll see, senior. You know, if he develops in the same timeline as Kurtz, I don't know if he will. He's a lot younger. He's 3 years. When he goes to, I think he's going to start next year in AA. When he starts AA next year compared to where Kurtz started, I think there was a 4-year difference in age. I believe Kurtz was 22, 21 or 22. DeVries will be 18. So a little bit of a difference there. The next thing, though, is obviously, I don't know about pitching, guys. Here's the thing that none of you guys have done either. And I haven't done. We've suggested pitching. That's all you've heard of the offseason. But what you have not done is said, who do you want to replace and who do you want to get? Who do you want to replace? Considering after we made the trade, when we sent Mason Miller away, how our pitching performed. Who do you want to replace in the bullpen? The first thing that comes to mind that I wanted to replace as a fan was Osvaldo Bideau. And we did that. We did that with Mark Leiter. Again, another excellent contract. 1 year, $3 million. At first, I was hoping for a little bit more. But when you really look at that Mark Leiter signing, love it. I absolutely love it here. Mets fan here. Jeff has fallen off the last few years, but he's a Cali guy. Might just need a change of scenery. He keeps himself in shape. He's a great golfer, by the way. I know he's a great golfer. Doc, I'm not doubting, and I haven't said, hey, he's a slam dunk type of deal. But what I did say is there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal. And Jeff McNeil's upside versus what the A's are committed to paying him and what they are committed over a time period of a period of time is a slam dunk. You know, on the if I was to say high side, I'm looking at a guy, we got to remember, at Sutter Health Park. Ceiling, Jeff McNeil, 305, 14 bombs, 70 RBIs. Ceiling I'm talking about. Don't get all over me. When I'm talking about a median, 260, 265, 8 bombs. And when I'm talking about the floor, what he's done, 220, 230, 6-7 homers. Doesn't do a whole lot. Age starting to catch up with him. Did you say World Series champs in 2030 or 30-30? I'm not even going to answer that. Yeah, Doc, Mets have been pretty toxic the last couple of years. What about Newcomb? Sure. Good point. Good point. Newcomb wants to be a starter, BBQ. Newcomb wants to be a starting pitcher. He has stated that. he's going to go to a team that's going to give him the opportunity to start, because if he ends up being the starting pitcher he thinks he can, then he could hit the free agent market in 2027 and get starting pitching type money. If the A's want Newcomb, which I think they should go after, they need to sign him to like a 2-year, $8 million deal, year 2 being a player option, and give him a shot at the rotation. If he doesn't come through in the rotation, you send him back to the bullpen at the same role he had last year. I think that's the only shot we get with Newcomb. But again, back to my pitching point, with how the A's bullpen performed last year, Jacob Lopez performed incredibly well. Don't forget, Jacob Lopez pitched 27 consecutive scoreless innings. Guy was dominant for about a 2.5 month stretch last year, guys. You could make the argument that over a month and a half, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball. Again, that's over a small period of time, but it came on the latter half of the year before he got hurt. So I don't think you could really do anything with our top 4 starters, right? Severino and Springs are going to get the ball every 5 days because they're getting paid. You got Lopez and Morales, depending on what order you want to go there, in the 3-4 spot until for a good amount of time. The question's the number 5 spot. I've said it on many of occasions. I've said it on multiple occasions here. Don't look past Gunnar Hoglund. Don't look past Gunnar Hoglund. As far as our closer, my favorite guy on the staff, on the team, Jack Perkins. I think that should be the closer. And I think the A's, considering the youth, should go with more of a closer by committee type of deal. Something to what they did last year after the Mason Miller trade. Where this team is, where it's going, what we gave up, this is a slam dunk. Yeah, it is. 100%. 100%. Who has more of a chance of coming up, DeVries or Jump? Timeline's the question. I think DeVries. The test for Jump is going to be pitching in Vegas. That's the key. Can Jump pitch in Vegas? And why I say Vegas, hitter friendly, PCL. Guys hit absolute seeds in Vegas. Every prospect that we have had has killed it in Vegas. Perkins killed it in Vegas. Hoglund crushed it in Vegas. Ginn crushed it in Vegas. And there's been many that have died as well. So we'll see. But that's a good question. Doc, he's a fiery guy. Him and Lindor had a fight during a game a few years ago. He can play multiple positions. I remember the fight he had, was it last year or the year before, with Rhys Hoskins at second base. The slide that Hoskins had. I don't know if you remember that one, Doc. I love the balance the lineup has now. If he's 260 with a 320, you better have a better OPS than that. It's a good signing. I'm worried the age is going to cause defense to decline, but this is a move you have to make for the price. Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. Does this deal make it tough to seal Springs in a Cronenworth deal? I don't think so. I think this deal still gives you a lot of flexibility. I think the deal still gives you a ton of flexibility with regard to extending the core, which I think should be the A's priority. And if they still want to go after someone like Cronenworth, I think it's going to cost a little bit. I think the Padres want to haul in return in order to get Cronenworth. I said it on yesterday's show. If you look below, you have the list. What I proposed is Springs, and I think this is a lot. And I don't think the A's can be. I like Cronenworth personally. I like Springs, our number 8 prospect, Henry Baez, who we got in the Mason Miller deal. I would give up Barnett as well. And if you go further to number 16 Eduardo Nunez, who we also acquired in the Mason Miller trade. I think that's a load. I think that's an absolute load to give up for Cronenworth. You got one top 10 prospect, you got a top 16 prospect, and the other guy I would add as well is number 22 coming up is Kenya Huggins, who we got in the Miguel Andujar deal from the Reds. And I think that's a load. I think that's a good return for the Padres. And we off spring salary, which is about $12 million this year. Cronenworth's due to make $12 million. So as far as money, it's a wash. Springs has a team-friendly contract. He is guaranteed the money in 2026 and a team option for 2027. So that fits to the Padres' plans as well. What's going on? I don't think the A's want to give up prospects. I don't think they want to give up prospects. David Force has been clear about that over the years. He was clear about that in the winter meetings. That's kind of been his deal. I like Cronenworth. Some people disagree with me on it. I like Cronenworth a lot. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't think the Cronenworth deal is done. If I have a priority as far as the rest of the A's offseason goes, I'm going to say it again. You guys are probably tired of hearing it. Kurtz, Langoliers, Wilson, Soderstrom. That's the first. Second, I want Tyler Mahle. Okay? I want Tyler Mahle from the Rangers. Tyler Mahle, for the first 40, 50 games of the season last year, was one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. He got hurt. He was out for the next couple months. He came back at the end of the season, absolutely dealt. The market value right now on Mahle, what I see because of the injury, because of his age, is about 1 year, $6 million, $7 million. I think if the A's give Mahle a 2-year deal, say worth 20 to 22 million, with year 2 being a player option, I think that's enough to entice Mahle over to the A's. Because Mahle still wants ace type. He wants an ace type of contract. He would have gotten that this year if he didn't get hurt. But since his age, since the injuries are there, he's down to a 1-year deal. And that's what other teams are offering him as well. So he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants that big money. And that's why the second-year player option is important. So those are my two guys. And then my third is Cronenworth. I'd love a deal made for Jake Cronenworth in the offseason. So, I got 6 players I want to get done. If we get 3 of them done, I'll be happy. Extensions on the core: Wilson, Soderstrom, Kurtz, Langoliers. Tyler Mahle, Texas. That's my guy. I want him. I'm cool with the bullpen. I'm happy with where the bullpen stands right now. And Cronenworth, if we can make a trade for Cronenworth, include Jeffrey Springs, where it's not an effect on payroll whatsoever, it's almost a wash, perfect. If we can't extend the core, or they're not going for whatever we're offering, then it's a situation where you have money to spend. You're going to have to. You don't have to unload anybody. We'll be better in the next year or two. But that's what I'm looking at. But hey, guys, we got some news finally. It's good news. And I couldn't be more happy, guys. Christmas came early. I saw the notification on my phone and almost did flips. I really did. But hey, got a couple cool episodes coming out tomorrow. Check out Locked On A's. I'm doing a show on Steven Echeverria, 2023 third-round pick out of high school. We drafted him as a 17-year-old. We drafted him as a 17-year-old, drafted him in the 3rd round, and paid him first-round money in order to sign. He's out of New Jersey. He's the top prep high school pitching prospect in New Jersey in 2022. In high school, his ERA was 0.28. He had a rough start in Stockton. He was in high A Lansing last year. At 19 years old, he can get it up to over 100 miles per hour. Velocity. He's a big-time arm, guys. So I got something on him on tomorrow. On Wednesday, Locked On A's holiday party, 9 a.m. Be sure you're here. Got some giveaways, a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff for Locked On A's holiday party, 9 a.m. on Wednesday. And on Christmas morning, Gunnar Hoglund. I'm doing something on Gunnar Hoglund, and that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Don't forget about Gunnar Hoglund. McNeil is washed. Maybe, Mike. Maybe. Now with the A's DFA to make room for the 40-man roster, hopefully Spencer Schumann. Good point. Good point. Good point. Thanks for taking this toxic player from us at A's. I would be traded him for a bag of Sacramento. Right on, BX. That was good, man. I evidently didn't like McNeil. Well, I mean, that whole Mets team was toxic. I mean, BX NYM. I mean, you kind of, as Mets fans right now, you probably shouldn't say anything this offseason. I mean, what happened to you guys last year? I mean, worst choke job in the history of sports. I mean, that whole clubhouse was toxic. Maybe McNeil was part of it. I'm just saying, man. Holy cow, man. Yeah, I bet. I don't know, Mets fan. Just like, yeah. If Mets fans shouldn't be allowed to talk this offseason considering what happened to them. Jeff was the main toxic guy. Pete too, huh? Oh, both those guys. Wow. Thought Alonso was pretty good, but maybe. Hey, guys. Hey, thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. Appreciate you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Even the Mets fans, Giants fans. Good day, guys. It was a lot of fun today. Appreciate you guys turning in. I will be back at them. I'll be back at you tomorrow again, Wednesday. Locked On A's holiday show. BX NYM, you're invited too, bud. Holiday party on Locked On A's on Wednesday, 9 a.m. I think Lindor is the toxic guy. Those guys didn't leave because of McNeil. Take care, fellas. Enjoyed, as always.